Drive. Going back to zoning, I went through all of the minutes for the planning board and zoning board from the first mention of the word mixed use, which was first mentioned in the minutes of March 24th, 2008. In the minutes between March 24th, 2008 until the last mention of the word mixed use, which was May 3rd, 2017, there were over 50 mentions. A couple I'd like to point out as it relates to density and to the studies that have been done. The first one is March 19th, 2014, Planning Board minutes. The board recommends that mixed-use development be added to permitted uses in B3 zone, which it's already permitted in B3. This is for B3A zone. And the board voted to add a 32 unit per acre maximum density in both 3 and 3A zones for mixed use. The next one I'd like to point out is November 10th, 2014, and Mr. Steck testified, "I'd like to address the density issue for the mixed-use application. In your report, page 5, you included recommended density in the B2 neighborhood." So we had somebody make a recommendation then. The next use I'd like to point out is January 6, 2016. There was a workshop session of the planning board. Recommendations regarding mixed-use property were presented by a consultant called Kimmerell Associates. He addressed the mixed-use development of lot and block dimensions and gave a report. What happened to that report, I'm not sure. And he made recommendations. The next mention is October 5th, 2016 Planning Board workshop session. Mixed-use definitions and design standards. Mr. Berry and Mr. Intendola presented their recommendations for density in mixed use as a report and made specific recommendations about that, which you can read. I have a couple of extra copies, and some people don't read minutes, but I do. The next one is September 21st, 2016. Another workshop session was held for mixed-use definition and maintenance. Again, Mr. Intendola and Mr. Berry presented recommendations and distributed mixed-use suggestions, which are here. And they were distributed to the board. The next meeting was February 15th, 2017, joint meeting of the planning boards, and I quote from the minutes. Mayor Scarpelli said, "Going back to the density issue, this is at least the third meeting that I recall that the zoning board has come to the planning board and said, we need some guidance on density." Then there's a whole nother conversation. Then we have another meeting, April 5th, planning board, committee, and subcommittee reports. Recommendations for changes as to mixed-use applications were made, and all changes were to be submitted to the Board of Commissioners for their review. And there's 6 of them right here, okay? So then, moving right along, April 19th, 2017, the Nutley Planning Board voted 8-0 in favor and 1 abstention for the amendments to the mixed-use building current definition involving residential units, and that the recommendations be forwarded to the Board of Commissioners. And there's 6 of them right here. The next one is May 3rd, 2017, Planning Board minutes. The board requested advance notice of the hearing date when the commissioners will be reviewing the recommended amendments that were sent to them to allow members of the planning board an opportunity to appear and answer questions regarding the recommendations submitted to the commissioners regarding mixed-use buildings, definitions, and density. I have been following this since I moved here. I have been to the zoning board meetings, I've been to the planning board meetings, I read the minutes, I follow it. This is taking too long. I appreciate your service, I appreciate what you do, and we need something decided. This has been going on since 2008. If you want a copy, here's one, or I'll email it to you. All right, it's time to get off the pot and make some decisions about the future of this town. Thank you.